Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Senate in stormy session over renewed attacks by bandits. Judge sends human rights lawyer to prison. Varsity strike, Labour ASU adamant. Oshun NAF partner on aviation city. Rising aviation fuel price forces airlines to cut flights. Governors reject water resources bill. And bakers seek suspension of government fees on bread. Finally, Oyo government reinstates 129 sacked teachers. Okay, which story are we starting with?
I'll talk about the teachers.
Okay.
So in Oyo State, the Oyo government has reinstated 129 public primary school teachers who were unlawfully sacked by the previous administration. So this was said by the executive chairman, State Universal Basic Education Board, Dr. Nureni Adenira. He made this statement yesterday in Ibadan. And he said that one of the reasons they were able to get to this consensus was the fact that the teachers agreed not to demand for arrears for the time that they were away. And so they just had to ease them back into office. And this is more like trying to support them, aside from the fact that they are dwindling teachers in the primary school sector. A lot of people who were sacked were breadwinners of their family, and this would give them something to look forward to. And they were just lauding the government for doing this.
Okay, so one of our house, I would say, one of the lawyers we've invited over a few times on the show was sentenced to 1 month in prison by Chief Judge of Akwa Ibom State Justice Ekaite Obot. He had imprisoned the Lagos-based activist, Mr. Inibehe Effiong, to 1 month in prison because he said that she's sending him to jail to purge himself of his insolence, dishonorable acts that tend to bring the court to disrepute. According to you, there's a current case of libel instituted by Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel against Elio Ekpeyong, and this our activist friend is defending Ekpeyong, and obviously he's known to be a bit of a troublemaker, but so I guess he took his trouble to Akwa Ibom, and the chief just said, please, you have to stay in jail. But he said he did nothing wrong, according to him. He said that I think Justice Ubad has really been patient with him all this while, but he didn't do anything wrong, and that he feels that justice is not being served on him, and it's been unfair. So he's going to try to, he's been waiting for some kind of appeal to be done, but nothing yet, because so far he's still going to jail for a whole month. He said, I'll be going to the Uyo Correctional Center now. I've not done anything wrong. I wasn't even given an opportunity to say anything before the conviction. And he wasn't happy about that. But,
I heard that story, and I was really looking forward to hearing, both sides of the argument. Because I thought, from when we first heard it, it looked like it was something that was done unjustly. But now, I haven't read what you have read. Looks like he deserved to go. I don't know yet. Anyway, let me take the Association of Master Bakers and Caterers of Nigeria, the FCT chapter. They're asking, okay, so they had gone on strike. I think it was a 4-day strike. And they're about to suspend that strike, but they're asking that the government should temporarily suspend all government fees, levies, and taxes on bread business, and also the suspension of duties on importation of bakery equipment and input, and just to help ensure the sustainability of the business. Remember their grounds. They're saying that there's just so much duties, levies, fees on this business, especially at such a time that they're struggling. And we know how important bread is to the Nigerian economy. So they're asking government to suspend all that. And then they made a good point. They say that many other countries have started adopting different sources to bread flour production. Say some countries are using sweet potato, corn, cassava. And so Nigeria should look into things like that.
For cassava flour that was launched by the former president.
Yes,
he ate the bread safe, and then suddenly
so they are asking that government should look into that particular one. And then they say localize industries for production of butter, oil, sugar, and other essential ingredients for production. I mean, it's sad that we have to say it, but really, with all the cows and the milk and the butter we get from, we could have a whole industry.
Yes. Once you create the incentive, people, private sector would move in and produce it. I want to take the water resources.
I wanted to address something I just said, the Akwa Ibom story. So let me tell you what the lawyer did, because you raised that. He had applied that the judge should be withdrawn from the case for alleged bias.
Okay.
And she now threw him out of the court. So she said that she lashed out at him, saying that because of what he said, so she lashed out at him and told him that I'll remove your robe from you and I'll put you in prison. And that's exactly what she did. So
you see that he didn't have the right to ask for her to...
So, yeah, so he's alleging that she might be biased because this is a case against the governor. So the guy is defending himself against the governor of the state, and the governor was instituted a case of libel against him. So it could be seen in that way. All right, take your story.
Yeah, so Water Resources Bill has been a very controversial bill, back and forth, and now it's about to be signed into law, and the governors, all 36 governors, in a teleconference said no to the bill, that they don't disagree entirely with the bill, but they've raised their concerns, and their concerns haven't been addressed in this bill, and they don't want it to get signed, and then they're having to go through a long process of redress, that right now the bill should not be signed. The bill should be reviewed in view to accommodate the concerns of all states. Now, the Minister for Water Resources, Malam Suleiman Adamu, has branded the people against this new law as adversaries to the nation. But I think that if 36 governors say that there is something wrong with the new bill, it should be reviewed. Part of what the bill contains, according to what I read in the paper this morning, is that digging of borehole needs to be licensed. Now, the first concern is, why would they license borehole? They're not giving us private water. Why can't we dig borehole? But they are saying because this water underground, we don't know the number of boreholes being dug per state, per local government. Everybody just indiscriminately digging borehole, and some are even bottling the water and commercializing and selling it back to us. That if you are bottling water from a borehole to commercialize and you're making money from it, you should pay different taxes for access to the water that is free to all. Anyway, the information...
I know, and also health-wise, because
yes, there's environmental impact that we're not taking concern, we're not taking cognizance of because it's indiscriminately being done. There are two sides to the story, but...
Sweetheart, so you buy land, you did not buy the water under the land you bought. Is that what they're trying to tell us?
It's the land.
Okay, moving on quickly to Punch, just see how much time I have. Yeah, the Punch. I saw fear spreads. Presidency senators clash over impeachment threat. ASU, Labour continues protest, slams politicians again. Lagos woman with stillbirth steals Oyo benefactor's baby. We took that story yesterday. Studying in distress, sad tales of forgotten school children. We can still take it again. Banker, robber, plus gunmen, waylay Bullion van. Can't opposition to Muslim ticket, godly says Dogara. Subsidy probe reps say 23 oil firms unknown. And review water bill, states governor tells lawmakers. Let me take the major headline because it's quite scary. So a lawmaker, let me see, the representing senator representing the FCT, Philip Aduda of the PDP, raised the point of order that the Senate should deliberate on issues of the insecurity and impeachment of our president. And this was fueled by angry residents of the FCT who are raising an objection to what the government is doing concerning all the various attacks. First started with the Kuje prison. Then recently it happened where the Presidential Guards Brigade were attacked by gunmen on the Buhari-Kubwa Road on Sunday. Then on Tuesday there were reports of sporadic shootings in Dantata Bridge Airport Road still in Abuja. Similarly, there was a leaked memo by NSCDC indicating that Boko Haram and Islamic ISWAP had already acquired dangerous weapons for massive attacks in Katsina, Lagos, FCT, Kaduna, Zamfara. Then the criminals also were reported to have had high-caliber weapons, including anti-aircraft guns, general-purpose machine guns. Then security guards residents have also tightened their security.
No, these are terrorists.
Listen, this is in Abuja.
Yes.
So even private security officers have also been heightened within the estates. Estates have also heightened their own security within to ensure safety. Parents have taken their children away from schools because even the FCT education minister, I think, also sent a letter saying that everybody should just go home. They should finish their exams by Wednesday, which is yesterday, and carry your children and go. Because obviously there's a heightened threat in Abuja. So it has come to the seat of power. So it is on the back of this that the senator is saying, Uncle, go home. They're saying that they're asking that they're trying to raise the notion of impeachment of our president at this point, saying that obviously
he's not aware of what is going on.
He obviously he's not able to
do anything
solve
about it
or solve this issue.
I heard they're giving him 6 weeks.
They give him 6 weeks, exactly. Thank you for adding that. So 6 weeks. That's a lot can happen in 6 weeks.
That's what I said in Ibadan.
I would have said 24 hours.
I didn't want to say it in English.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still on Punch. Yes, Mariam had a story.
So they say a Lagos woman who had a recent stillbirth steals another woman's baby. So her name is Itunu Adepoju. She's 23 years old, and that she lives in Lagos, and she had a baby, but unfortunately she lost the baby at birth, and she had gone to the hospital in Oyo State for checkup, and she met a woman who had the baby about 3 days before, who had come with her baby for immunization, and they got talking. She befriended the woman and her baby and told them that she was just trying to move to Ibadan. And anyway, they got talking. The woman helped her. This woman with her baby helped her go around. Then around 1 o'clock, by then, this new friendship, the other woman was now backing the baby. And she said, oh, she needs to just quickly go to the POS and withdraw some money. And she went there, and the woman did not see the woman and her baby. Thankfully, this report is saying that she's been arrested. But they said, you know, it's just crazy. She met her, she felt sad for her, you know, helped her. But that woman all along was just planning to steal her baby.
Really sad.
It's the second kidnapping of baby.
Yeah, so I have another story in Ado-Ota in Ifo local government. So that's in Ogun State. And many communities around that area have been complaining that they lack infrastructure, their roads are not good. And then Punch had to highlight one of the schools. So the community high school, Oluke Ijoko, Ogun State, just shows every sign of neglect. And they say when you come into the school premises, there are no gates, there are no fences. The schools, the classrooms are open, dilapidated buildings. Some are destroyed already, and students have to sit on the floor to, you know, study. They are sharing the school compound with unknown people who are homeless, who sleep there. They have, you see, their baggages and everything there. And most of the unknown people who come at night to sleep there, they use some of their chairs, those little chairs that they still have to cook in that environment. Nothing is being regulated. There was a particular area that was made, the principal's office at the time was converted to a classroom, but nobody can actually sit there and learn. And they spoke to one of the teachers who said that they were asking how is it possible that some of their students are able to pass the WAEC examination. They said they have to go to other schools to, you know, get specimens to be able to do some of their subjects. And this school is supposed to be the only primary and secondary public school in 15 villages coming together. That's the only school they are able to access. And they are appealing to the government, because this school was established in the 1970s, appealing to the government to do something about the school. They cannot have children sitting on the floor. They don't have any means. There's no hope, and it's looking really terrible on the government of Ogun State. Okay,
moving on quickly now to Daily Sun. Presidency threats as senators threaten to impeach Buhari. 2 killed, 3 policemen injured as armed robbers attack Bullion van in Abia. Governor's call on review of water resources bill. National carrier Air Nigeria to take off with 3 leased aircraft. Akwa Ibom CJ sends human rights lawyer F. Young to 1 month jail for contempt. ASU strike, Labour shuts down Abuja in solidarity protest. And 2023 will uphold the integrity of the ballot, says INEC chairman. Okay, who has ASU? We've not taken ASU today.
Yes, we've not. I have it. Okay, so let me take it here. So let me get, because there are some. We know that the strike, the protest, yes, started yesterday. I took that story yesterday, and then they had to find their way to Abuja, and they were able to access the National Assembly, where NLC workers kept complaining and saying that Nigeria cannot say that they do not have money, where the students and children of the poor people are at home, while we see on social media politicians celebrating their children who just graduated from one university or the other. And they are going to extend this protest for as long as they can. If it's going to enter into years if the government does not do anything about it. So government needs to sit up, and everybody is doing this in solidarity with us. So we cannot keep saying that we don't have money and allow our children suffer. We're talking about insecurity. Right. The children you do not allow to get into school to learn today will be the ones who will take up arms tomorrow, because they are doing nothing at home. And, you know, just emphasizing
we can already see it play out today.
Yes.
It happens. Okay, so INEC chair is restating his commitment to uphold the integrity of the ballot. And I was really happy to hear me when they say that the 2023 general elections will not be only free and fair and credible, but it will be the one in which Nigerian votes cast by Nigerians will truly count. He's saying that they will have no candidates in election, and they're not favoring any party over the other. They will not give an advantage or disadvantage to any party. They're going to ensure that everybody's votes count. So this is important because many Nigerians always have that perception of, to a vote not come, what's the point of voting? But this time around, Yakubu is telling us, come out and vote because every single vote will count this time around.
So I want to take the story about food crisis.
Yeah.
So on the plenary session on Wednesday, the House urged the presidency as well as the Minister for Agriculture and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to begin to make arrangements to mitigate emerging food challenges. Second to our second most, what takes most of our imports is food. After petrol, the next thing we import most is food. And that based on the current crisis, the Russia-Ukraine war, the dollar crisis, that there is likely going to be a case of hunger towards the end of 2022, and that we should start providing. I'm worried about what is urgent need to in place emergency program and protocol for impending food shortage. So we've seen these things when we watch international news, where they're rationing milk and rationing other things that essential things we import. And the implication they're saying is based on the statistics on ground now, we might be getting to the point for the end of the year where there will be scarcity of food, saying that many people cannot go to their farms. About 16 states are facing major food crisis already because Rivers, Edo, Enugu, Gombe, Jigawa, all states are not able to farm. Terrorists are taking over their farms, so there are no foods coming from this place. Farmers are forced to pay to access their lands, and so to avoid a major food security issue, we should start implementing a system now to prevent it later.
What system? Just we need to secure.
I don't know.
We need to secure those farms.
No, but maybe we need to start shrinking, rationing, because that's the rationing. The word rationing was used
the source is insecurity, right?
Yeah.
We need our president to work to ensure to secure the farms so that people can go farming. It's not about rationing.
Insecurity in Abia State. 2 people were killed, 3 policemen were injured as armed robbers attacked a bullion van. They said that this bullion van was transporting cash, and along the Port Harcourt-Enugu Expressway, this group of armed robbers shot at the bus, at the bullion van. They swerved into the bush, they attacked them. Unfortunately, they killed one of the bank staff. The driver, they say, escaped. The escort attached to the van got into a gun battle with the robbers. They shot one of them, and 3 of the police officers also were shot. Yes, so insecurity everywhere.
Okay, moving on now to Vanguard. Tension grips Abuja environs over rising insecurity. Governors reject proposed National Water Resources Bill. We mentioned that earlier. Economy doing well under Buhari than previous government, says Finance Minister. 2023 Senate caucus weight into PDP crisis meets Atiku and Okowa. FEC okays Nigeria Air's lease of aircraft to commence operations. Body of benches does not interfere with discipline of lawyers, says Olanipekun SAN. Subsidy regime profile of 23 oil companies not known, says Reps. And FG's borrowings deviate from 2021 to 2025 plan, rises 20.8%. Okay, which story are we taking in Vanguard?
The Minister for Finance is saying that our economy is doing well as compared to the last. I just had to read the story. He said economy doing well under Buhari. So she now broke down that in 2015, when the administration came into power, a list of the challenges that they had to face, starting with the fact that the administration had to deal with the slump in oil prices, which led to a recession and also shortage in production. Said secondly, this administration had to deal with COVID in 2020, which also led to a recession. Another thing he wanted to remind us of is the complaints about the excess crude oil accounts, that this account hasn't been funded in the past about 4 years, according to what she said. So in view of all the things that the government has had to deal with, the lowest oil and gas revenue compared to previous administration, that the administration has done well.
Okay. We're running out of time. Any important story?
Tribune. I was thinking you would get there. So, yes, the NYSC has been sued.
Okay.
Yes. So, let me just go straight to the point. So, there's this man, Dennis Ude, who is a plaintiff. He's suing the federal government for NYSC, saying that he's a taxpayer and still keeping the scheme NYSC is heavy on taxpayers' money because they're using taxpayers' money to fund NYSC. That's one. Secondly, the security terrain is not very conducive for children to be sent to places where there's banditry and insurgency, and it's no longer serving us right now. So it needs to be dissolved. You know, basically, that's just
suspended. So reduce the fund somewhere else.
And reduce so that we can use the money and focus on other things that we need in the economy. And I think it has a point.
The subsidy is one of them that has to go first.
The other one, that's the elephant in the room. Remove subsidy first. Then that one that the ASU president was
No, if you remove subsidy first, it will bite us. Why don't you look for the ones that will not bite us?
It will not bite us.
It's biting.
How much are you paying? How many people are going to NYSC?
No.
People school. No, listen.
They use billions.
I know they use billions for NYSC.
Okay.
Schools are on strike. Put the money for NYSC into the university that other people can go through school.
Yes, okay.
It's about, you vary your options. What do you have available? I support let's have that conversation.
We're not saying that they shouldn't. She's saying that subsidy is priority. It's one of the biggest issues. Let us face it.
But that will hit us very hard now. So why don't we start with those ones that
hitting us?
Will not.
This one will not hit us too much.
Yes, I know now.
Auntie, let's go on a break. It's Thursday. But before we start this thing, there's matter. Dollar don't increase. Stay with us. We'll focus on dollar matter. Stay with us to be right back.